Well, welcome back. Well, getting the right financial advice can be daunting, it can be costly, and often the information has the potential to be difficult to understand. So we thought we'd call in our finance expert, Patrick Canyon, to answer some of your burning questions. Good morning to you, Patrick.
Hey, good morning, Georgie.
Let's get stuck into it.
Sure.
Here's a question from Ken.
Okay.
Yeah, g'day. I'm just wondering whether I should invest in property or whether go for something else with the property market sliding.
There you go, the million-dollar question.
The million-dollar
What do you
question.
invest in?
Look, that's actually a question on everyone's lips with the property market falling in value. But the funny thing is when my favourite store has a sale, I get excited about it. So the fact that values have fallen a little bit can present a great opportunity. I think what's important as a great comparison is to consider what your rental yield is as a percentage of the property value compared to things like term deposit rates. That'll give you a really good starting point for comparison. But most importantly, buying a property is a huge decision. So don't do it without getting professional financial advice for your specific circumstances.
Okay, apartments, houses, any differentiation there?
Look, I like owning real land because that's the land that appreciates. But again, distinguish between what is an investment for your property and whether you're buying a home for yourself. You really need to be very clinical about assessing a property for a financial investment.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Don't get too emotional about it.
Don't get too emotional, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
now speaking of property, Catherine's got a question about her home loan.
Okay.
Oh, hi. I wanted to know, should I fix my home loan interest rate?
Okay, fixed or variable?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, look, mathematically, think about it this. Banks almost always win when you fix the interest rate because you're paying a premium for security and certainty. So if you're comfortable with riding out the peaks and troughs of interest rate cycles, I'd say go with variable. Look, the interesting thing is, though, that it looks like the next interest rate movement could be down. So if you're not in a tight situation, I'd say just hold off a little bit, but keep a close eye on the market because sometimes banks do offer some great deals to fix your rates.
Given rates are so low, is it not a good idea to perhaps fix part of it?
That's another option. You know, people tend to think of it as all or nothing. But, you know, you can sit down and get a calculator out and actually have a bit of the best of both worlds. Fix some of it, but then leave the other bit to be variable.
All right, next question comes from Michelle.
How can I get a better result from my super?
Superannuation.
Superannuation. I wish people would spend half as much time investigating their super as they do on planning their annual holidays because they'd be guaranteed to get a better result.
You could get a bigger holiday if you put a bit more attention into your super.
Exactly, exactly. The first area to look at is what you can control, which is your fees on your superannuation fund. It's very competitive, so have a look around. You know, the last couple of weeks I've seen some of Australia's largest super funds put their fees up. It's your money. You can move it wherever you want to within superannuation funds. So pay some attention to the marketplace. The second part is where that money is invested. There are a lot of options, but don't be overwhelmed or intimidated by those. Make sure that where your money is invested suits your stage of life because even an extra 0.5% return over a long period of time can make a huge amount of difference in your end result.
And if you change jobs, roll your super over.
Yeah, roll them all in,
Yeah.
combine the funds together. Okay, get economies of scale working for you, not for the super funds or someone else.
Yeah, good advice there, Patrick. Let's hear now from Max.
Hey Patrick, so recently there's been a lot of bad stigma around certain banks, so I'm not sure as to which bank I should choose. So could you give me some advice as to which bank you think is the best?
Oh, wow,
Banks
the banks
are on the nose.
They're copping it at the moment,
Yeah.
you know. But look, the thing to understand is no one bank is the best bank for everyone. And even though banks are having a hard time, if you're a good customer, more than ever, they want your business. So again, the answer is to research what's important to you and what the options are and make them work for your business. And don't discount some of the innovations that are happening, particularly in online banks and the savings rates you can get. If you're a saver, you can get some really good deals on online banks. But yeah, you've got to hold them to account and do a bit of homework, make them work for your business.
That is good advice. And as you say, the climate's perfect to do that.
It sure is.
All right, and just finally a question from Louise.
Is salary sacrifice into super a good idea?
Salary sacrificing into your superannuation. Good to hear that coming from a young woman.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And, you know, you hear sacrifice, you think that's bad, but really what all that means is you're taking pre-tax money and putting it into a low-tax environment so that you can enjoy it in the future. So minimizing your tax bill, saving money for your future, it's a fantastic idea. Importantly, with super, there's a maximum amount you can put in each year. And once that year's over, you can't go and catch that back. So, yeah, it's a great idea to consider putting more money into your superannuation before you've paid income tax on it.
Well, it's forced saving, isn't it? And you kind of don't know what you're missing because it's done automatically.
Yeah, it'll hurt like crazy for the first couple of pays. Then you get used to it. And boy, will you thank yourself later on for doing it.
Patrick, you are a wealth of information. Thank you so
Georgie.
much. Great to see you.
Pleasure to be here.
All right. Hopefully that's been a little bit of help, Deb.
Yeah, and I
and
see
Tom.
what you did there with the wealth. Well
Thanks,
done,
Deb.
Georgie.